Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? I just trying out this new gimbal stick that's supposed to make the video a little less choppy and bouncy. But as you can see, I'm in my car here, just getting out from an appointment, and we're in the Good Life automobile. We call this the Squirrel. Take a look at her. She's a beauty. So anyway, getting back from showing a property, getting back in the mix and seeing what it's like to show property, and how, you know, that can be frustrating when you go out and show a property and see maybe nobody shows up, or, you know, maybe you're not getting enough showings. And so if you're a rental property owner, you know that vacancy is killing your profits. So we got to do everything we can to minimize vacancy and maximize our revenue. So if you're struggling with extended vacancy, or last time you put the property on the market, you had to show it 5, 6, 7, 10, 15 times, we'll say goodbye to the Squirrel. See you, Squirrel. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. And so this is the Rental Property Owner Show. This is where we talk about things that are important to rental property owners and try to give you some insight and advice on how to become more profitable and how to just be an overall better landlord. So today's topic is about max rent pricing. How you doing, sir? And max rent pricing, what this is going to do for you is it's going to make sure you net the most money possible for your rental property and not leave any money on the table. And so there's 3 components to max rent pricing I'll go over. And the first one is you want to run the comps for your property and figure out within a 10% range how much your property may rent for. So easy way to do the comps is to go to Zillow, go to Craigslist, see what's currently available, and as we're heading up into the office here, into the Good Life elevator, you know, see what's available and figure out within a 10% range what your property should rent for, right? Okay, that's step 1. Step 2 is you want to run an analysis, an estimated time, how long it's going to take to rent at each rental rate that you come up with. So let me give you an example. Now that I'm back at the whiteboard here, get my marker. And by the way, if you know somebody who has a rental property and could benefit from understanding max rent pricing in a way to better price their property so that they minimize vacancy, please tag them in the comments below. And we love your comments as well, so please let us know you're there and say what's up to us. So here we're back in the Good Life conference room headquarters. See, the gimbal's not bad, you know, great view, but you know, and it's working good. There's our new poster. Those are core values. Be reliable, be positive, and be a go-giver. All right, so I'm going to try to do this while we work on the board. All right, so max rent pricing. Okay, so like I said, step 1 is you want to figure out 10% range. So if the property is $2,000 a month, let's say you think it's around $2,000. Okay, so you want to figure out what's the top of the market and what's the bottom of the market. So within that 10% range. So let's say we think it's around $2,000. So we're going to say, all right, it's $2,000 at most, and maybe $1,800 at least, right? All right, so we'll put that here. Okay, excellent. Now, the second step you want to do And I'm thinking actually, as I do this selfie, this board might be backwards, so I apologize, but we'll put the subtitles in so you know what I'm saying. So the second thing to do is break this into a few different scenarios. I like to do at least 2 scenarios here, but you could even do 3 scenarios. So we'll do 2 scenarios in this case. So run scenarios would be step 2. And with the scenarios, all you're gonna do is you're just gonna do the basic math, and you wanna guess about how long it's gonna take you. So you say, okay, 2,000 is kind of the top of the market. So if I price it at 2,000 bucks, I'm thinking it's gonna take, you know, at least 30 days, but it could take as much as 45, maybe even up to 60 days. So you'll do 30 to, you know, 60 days. Here at 1,800, you're really confident that it's gonna rent in 2 weeks, you know, because you're like, wow, that's a really good deal. So I'm gonna rent this in 2 weeks. It's a high probability, right? We don't know for sure. Hey Dave, what's up, man? Give us some love in the comments. All right, and then number 3 is you always wanna pick, if you're doing 3 different options, you always wanna pick the either option 1 or 2. You never usually wanna pick the highest price rent, because that's usually only going to attract less desirable tenants, and it's going to increase your vacancy time. Because it's funny, when you're in the rental business, it's just like any other business. You got competitions, competitors. And if you think about any other business, they rarely price their property, or they rarely price their product and just kind of say, hey, I'm going to try this price point and see like if the market, you know, will take it. You know, there's usually data behind it, and they go into it with eyes wide open. So they decide, okay, I'm going to price it here. But in rental property, you know, owners a lot of times are like, okay, well, I'm just going to try the highest price point for a couple weeks and then see what to do from there. But that's never the best option, because you sit on the market, you lose that money, and you never get it back. So option 3 is pick option 1 or 2. So what you want to do with max rent pricing here is just run the analysis. So say, okay, if it rents in 30 days, take 2,000 bucks divided by 30. And get your per day price, and then run the scenario based on if it rents in 30 days. Then run the scenario based if it rents in 60 days. And then run the scenario based on $1,800. I know that is a sweet Rambo poster, right, Dave? Run the scenario at $1,800 for 2 weeks. So we all know this stuff, and it's not necessarily groundbreaking, but you'd be surprised. Very few people actually do this. They don't take the time to say, okay, 1,800, well, most people just knee-jerk. They're like, oh, no, I don't want 1,800. That's not enough. I need more than that. But you need to focus on the whole life of the tenancy. So extrapolate that out. So 2 weeks of vacancy would mean that roughly it rents, or it's occupied 50 weeks a year, right? So there's 52 weeks in a year. And so here you can extrapolate it out that if it rents in 30 days, that's 11 months of vacancy. So basically you just do the math, and then you just pick the option that makes you the most money over the course of the whole year, not just per month. Because unless you have an income property like a duplex, a fourplex, an apartment building, the rent is not, like if you have a single family home, the rent is not tied to the price of your property. So even if you price it lower, you're going to rent it quicker, minimizing vacancy, and then you're going to be able to raise the rent after the initial lease term if the market can bear. So we had a client who last time they had rented their property had sat vacant for quite a long time, and they called us and said, you know, hey, we need some help with this, and we're going to need you know, to pick the right rent price, because last time it was a mess. So we ran them through the max rent pricing, and they were all nervous about, there was a husband and wife, they were really nervous about how long the property was going to sit, and that they were giving it away for too cheap. And they also wanted a good tenant. So they said, let's maybe price it higher. That way we have the better chance of getting a good tenant. And I said, that's funny. That's actually the opposite of what happens. What we've learned is when you price the property too high, you don't get a lot of interest, right? And so the only people that apply are less desirable tenants, because they know they can't win best applicant in a pool of good applicants when a property is priced well. So if you want the best tenant, the reverse is actually true, where you need to price it more competitively. So pricing it more competitively making sure that you minimize vacancy. So it's a science, right? You don't want to give it away, but you got to price it competitively enough so you attract the most high quality tenants and you don't sit on the market vacant for too long. So we were able to take care of that for the couple. They initially were a little scared and a little, hesitant, but we ran them through it. We did it. The property rented, I believe, in a little less than 2 weeks. And so they were thrilled. The tenant moved in, almost right away. And this solved the problem for them. And then we were able to look at their income statement over the year and see that, this strategy ended up netting you more money over the whole course of the term rather than pricing it too high, having it sit. And then maybe, any property will price as long as it's within reason, it will end up renting. But it's not worth, waiting 3 months for a property to rent at a higher price just so you feel good that you're getting a higher per month rent price. The key is in the per year price, which we kind of went over with max rent pricing. So if, again, to recap, number one, you want to figure out what the rent might be within about a 10% range. Number two, you want to run your analysis of each scenario. And then number three, you want to pick either scenario 1 or 2, never the most rent, never the top of the market, because you never want to price your property at the very top of the market because it's going to sit too long on the market. You're going to lose money overall on vacancy and you're going to only get less desirable tenants. So thanks for the love, Dave, and we appreciate everyone watching out there. If you would like a free rental market analysis, we're going to put a link to our website in the comments below. You're going to be able to click that link, and it's a free instant rental property analysis. So it's actually quite different than what a lot of people advertise. So it's not just someone at our office is going to run a comp report for you. We are actually going to, that report is actually automatically generated. And so it's going to generate an instant report. It's going to give you information on your market, like how many units are available, what's the vacancy rate, what's the range of properties like yours, what are they renting for these days, and a whole lot more. So go to www.goodlifemgmt.com and click the instant rental property analysis button, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Just put that in there, and then you can get that free report. And we appreciate you watching this episode of the Rental Property Owner Show. If you have any questions about that, please contact our office. And please leave a comment if you're seeing this in the replay. Thanks so much for watching, or live. Please leave us a comment. Let us know if you have any questions or any thoughts about our broadcast or how we can make it better. And we're kind of learning as we go, and I appreciate you sticking with me as we try this new fancy toy here. But thanks for shouting that out, Olivia. But anyway, have a great day, everyone. Appreciate you. Cheers.